What? We already have applicants? 2 days after I posted the ad, I was called to the guild by Ange and informed of the surprising news. Yep. Your request is for 2 servants, right? Both slots were filled this morning. They're available to meet you for an interview today, actually. What do you want to do? That sounds perfect. Please arrange it. Sure thing. I'll send them over to your place, so you can wait for them back at home. Thanks. Oh, and I'll be inviting you to my new house one of these days, so make sure you come. Really? I'll come, you'll definitely see me there. I'll be looking forward to it. For some reason, Ange's response was extremely enthusiastic. Ha ha ha, don't be too surprised by E-File's cooking. Friends really are a great thing to have. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. Once back at the mansion, E-File and I hurriedly got the parlor all set up in preparation for the coming interviews. When things were more or less ready, E-File went to stand by the door, I settled myself onto the long sofa, and Gerard took up his position behind me. Sarah was currently out, so I telepathically gave her the news. I'm quite nervous. This is my first time actually hiring someone, isn't it? Is it always this nerve-wracking being on the interviewing side? Here's hoping I can pull it off well. I mean, I have nerves of steel, so it should be fine, right? At that moment, there was a knock on the door. Master, I've brought the applicants. Yes, come in. Excuse me. E-File opened the door and stepped into the room, followed by the 2 candidates. Wait a moment. These 2. Master, this is Ellie-sama and Ruka-sama. Thank you for the opportunity. I am Ellie. We meet again, big brother. It's been a while. The 2 who had responded to our recruitment post were none other than the mother and daughter we had saved from Black Wind back in Turai. Seeing me, the little girl, Ruka, immediately broke into a dash and leapt into my arms. Whoa. Good catch, me. Ruka. You shouldn't do that. We didn't come here to play. But it's Big Brother. And I haven't seen him in so long. Hold on a moment, guys. What exactly is happening? I had prepared myself for whoever might walk through the door, but seeing this pair had really taken me by surprise. What are you saying, Big Brother? You're looking for servants, right? We came here today for the interview. That's not what I meant. In the first place, don't you live in Turai? It's only been 2 days since I posted the notice. How did you manage to reach Parth in such a short time? When I headed for Turai in a wagon, it took me weeks. What? I was visiting the Adventurers Guild in Turai in hopes of finding employment when I saw your notice, Kelvin-sama. When I was told that the location was in Parth, I was inclined to give up, but then Mist-san approached me. It only took a second. It was, like, Biwoon, and we were suddenly in Parth. You guys took the teleportation gate? Weren't there a whole lot of conditions supposedly required for someone to use it? Before anything else, Kelvin-sama, please allow me to pass this along to you. It's a letter from our queen. From Tsubaki-sama, you say? I accepted a rolled-up scroll from Ellie. True enough, the wax seal on it bore the national emblem of Turai. I quickly scanned the contents. To paraphrase, I heard from Rio that you're looking for servants. It just so happens that I was about to send a few sacks of rice your way, so I thought I might as well include some eager applicants together with the rice. No pressure, if you don't hire them, Rio will send them back. Of course, you needn't thank me. Well, if you really want to thank me, how about coming back to serve Turai? There's no need to be reserved. The doors will always remain open to you and why. The following lengthy solicitation has been abridged. I.C. In other words, Tsubaki-sama had yet to give up on her attempts to recruit us. She sure knows how to play the long game. And if I have to guess, she's most likely in contact with both Rio and Mist. Master, it seems like several bags of rice have arrived from Tsubaki-sama. And for some reason, Sarah-san is part of the delivery group. Oh, those must be the porters we accompanied through the teleportation gate, Ellie remarked. We happened to bump into Sarah-sama along the way, and she very generously offered to help. She really is strong, isn't she? In response to Ellie's account, I looked out the window and saw Sarah arriving with sacks of rice tucked under both arms. Kelvin, I'm back. Look, we got more rice. Here I was, wondering what she was doing and why she hadn't responded to my telepathic message. Turns out she was carrying rice. How do you want me to handle the porters, Master? Set out some cold drinks and a light meal for them as thanks for having helped to carry everything all this way. If it's your cooking, I'm sure they'll be delighted. Understood, Master. Sarah strolled in just as Eiffel exited the room. We've put everything away. So, how's the interview going? Thanks for getting the rice all sorted out. The interview hasn't really started, but, well, I guess I'm ready to hire them. Really? Cried Ruka, leaping up with joy. Are you sure about this, Kelvin-sama? We haven't actually said anything yet. We already talked for a whole day on the way back to Tarai, didn't we? I think I have a pretty good grasp of your personalities. I'd trust you two more than I would somebody I'm meeting for the first time. Ellie seemed like she would be a diligent worker who wouldn't cause me much trouble. Ruka was still young and not very well educated, but had a lot of potential for growth. If she worked hard under Eiphile's instruction, she could grow into a very fine maid indeed. Then it's decided? Sarah's face broke into a huge smile. That means tonight, Eiffel is cooking a feast in celebration, right? I have no objections either, my king. Ruka, feel free to call me Grandpa, all right? Grandpa Gerard? Oh. What is this feeling that's welling up inside of me? Are you really trying to be a friendly neighborhood grandpa, Gerard? In that grim-looking full-body armor of yours? Ahem. In any case, the two of you are hired as of now. As I wrote on the notice, this is a live-in job. Once Eiffel comes back, she'll show you to your room. You two don't mind sharing, being family and all? It's more than generous. Normally, servants have to sleep in one big room together with a large number of people. The promised salary is also quite high. Are you sure about this, Kelvin-sama? If it bothers you, then let me put it this way. I'm paying you a high salary to get quality work. As for you, Ruka, I don't expect you to be able to do everything from the start, but I do expect you to study hard, all right? I'll give it my all. I'm very sorry for my daughter's overly casual tone and word choices, Kelvin-sama. I promise I'll teach her properly. This is the sort of thing that everyone picks up over time, anyway, although I can see how it would be a matter of concern as a servant. Well, Ruka is still a kid, so I'm happy enough for her to put in whatever effort can be expected of someone her age. I'm sure both of you are quite tired today, what with the new environment and the move. As such, your duties will start tomorrow. Of course, you should feel free to use your room however you want. Oh, and Eiffel will be making your work clothes, so make sure to get measured. Then, next is. Once I had finished going through most of what needed explaining, Eiffel returned. There you are, Eiffel. Good timing. What is the matter, Master? I'm appointing you head maid, effective immediately. These two are now officially your charges. Take good care of them. I humbly accept the honor. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow. Ellie and Ruka's welcoming party was long over, and it was getting late into the night now. Alone in my room and relying solely on the light of the moon for illumination, I was absorbed in flipping through the pages of a book that I had only just picked up. Judging from the absence of noise coming from the room next to mine, Ephil had already fallen asleep. Just as I was about to stand up to grab a cup of water, I felt the flow of a magical presence that I knew all too well. "Took you quite a while, Melfina. You were waiting up for me?" The voice that I was hearing through the follower network was undoubtedly the goddess's. "I can't explain it, but I had a hunch you were returning today," I laughed welcomingly. And voila, here you are. From an outsider's perspective, I must have looked like a weirdo laughing to myself. Looks like every time I step away, you become less and less human. Oh, hush. I wasn't dreaming it, my precious companion was back. It felt like it had been ages since I could banter with her like this. I'm sorry, adjusting my artificial body took longer than expected. Don't worry about it. I don't know exactly what this artificial body of yours is, but the point is, I can summon you now, right? The time has finally come. The past 3 months felt like an eternity. Indeed. And I'm all ready to catch your heart, honey. That is a pretty dated phrase. Come to think of it, this is going to be the first time, in memory, at least, that I'm meeting Melfina in person. Am I a bit nervous? In the first place, you're basically just tagging along with me as part of an extended holiday, right? It sounds like your goal has kind of gotten off track. Not at all. To my surprise, it seems I actually took a liking to you somewhere along the way. You know, I'm still not sure whether I believe that whole thing about me falling for you at first sight. And now you can see for yourself. Go ahead. All right, all right. At the moment, my max MP was 2625. After subtracting what was needed to keep the other followers materialized, I was left with 2045. By some odd coincidence, this was the exact amount from the last time I had tried, and failed, to summon Melfina. Would it be enough this time? I focused my mind and gathered magic above the bed before my eyes. Preparations, all okay. Only thing left to do is actually perform the summoning. A magic circle appeared in midair, and bluish-white light enveloped the room. Soon enough, the light turned into pure white wings before fading away into fine rays. "So, what do you think?" asked the angelic woman who was now hovering over my bed. Clad in blue armor, with a long spear of the same color in hand, she was a war goddess in the flesh, pristine and entirely free of blemishes. Melfina's features appeared around high school age and were the perfect combination of cuteness and beauty to evoke a sense of sublime majesty. Her face was framed by hair that glowed bluish-white under the moonlight and reached all the way to her waist. Every time her white wings beat the air, a wave of divine energy washed over the room. Passably to my liking, I suppose. The goddess giggled and replied, "Is that so?" I realized once again just how much I sucked at lying. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. "Ah, I finally get to taste Ephil's cooking," exclaimed Melfina. "It's every bit as amazing as I imagined. Even after raising her cooking skill to rank S, her food is getting more delicious by the day," I said proudly. The word, complacent, just isn't in my remarkable maid's vocabulary. Thank you for the compliment, master. However, I am only doing what any maid would do. Today's food is as wonderful as always. Ephil, seconds, please. Here you go, Sarah-san. Quote. Quote. The morning after I had successfully summoned Melfina, my party was enjoying breakfast together in the dining room. With me, Ephil, Gerard, Sarah, Clotho, and now Melfina present, the whole family was finally in attendance. "But still, a mansion," remarked Melfina, raising her face to give the room a quick once-over. "I was rather surprised to find that your room at the inn had been vacated. It took me quite a while to find this place." I shot her a look. You could have just reached out through the network, you know. That would have been a waste of an opportunity for a touching reunion, don't you think? I really wanted to surprise you. What, like an episode of Punk'd? Quote dot 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 dot. Quote dot 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 dot. Quote dot dot. What a weird thing for a goddess to get hung up on. And why's Gerard been so quiet this whole time? Is something wrong? Gerard, you haven't said a single word since the meal started. Do you have a stomachache or anything? No, that's not it. My king. Who is this pretty lady? Yeah, now that Gerard's mentioned it, who are you? Asked Sarah quizzically. Haven't seen your face around here before. Oh right, I've only introduced her to Eiffel so far. Sarah came in and joined the conversation so naturally that it completely slipped my mind. Apologies for my belated greeting. Is nice to meet you appropriate here? In any case, I am a fellow follower who was summoned just yesterday. My name is Melfina. Princess? Gerard exclaimed. Indeed, that's me, Melfina replied in her characteristic sing-song voice. You've actually come to like that nickname, haven't you? Ah, so you're Melfina, said Sarah. Sorry I didn't recognize you, I didn't know what you looked like. Glad to have you back, I guess. Welcome back. Thanks. I'm glad to be here. The two women exchanged a handshake, but Melfina's face was slightly clouded. I imagine you might not think the best of me over what happened to Demon Lord Gustav. Nah, don't worry about it. That was the result of my father becoming overly obsessed with power and running amok. And it wasn't even you who handled the summoning of the hero of that age, was it? I heard the whole story from Kelvin. So there's nothing bad between us. Melfina heaved a sigh of relief. Thank you. Oh, PSSH, there's nothing to thank me for, Sarah replied, waving her hand dismissively. Phew, I'm glad there's no bad blood between the goddess and the demon. Looks like I was worried about nothing, seeing as the two of them are breaking the ice just fine. And here I was thinking my king had brought in a new concubine. So, it won't be raining blood today. What a relief. Dude, why do you always jump to that sort of conclusion? Don't worry, Gerard, said Melfina smugly, I'm the main wife, and I'm here now. Peeved, I spat out the mouthful of milk that I'd been drinking. Where the hell did your serious mood from just now go, Melfina? Come on, Kelvin. That's gross, Sarah cried, after successfully evacuating the dishes from the table at top speed. Master, allow me, offered my faithful maid as she approached with a napkin to wipe my mouth for me. Sorry, and thanks, I obediently lifted my face. So, you really are Betro? No. She's just making it up like she always does. Becoming so flustered over such a small matter means that you still have a long way to go, honey. You sure seem to be having fun stirring things up. Looks like she's in quite high spirits after finally being materialized. If only she would have her fun without getting me into trouble, though. By the way, Melfina, is it a problem if we continue to call you by your name? Asked Sarah. Everyone knows who Goddess Melfina is, after all. Luckily, the servants happened to be out on an errand this morning, so we're in the clear for now, but still. Good point. This is the perfect opportunity to discuss it. Let me share the status of this artificial body with you all, the goddess replied before uploading her status window to the follower network. This is me in my battle-ready state. Mel, 17Y, female, angel, Valkyrie. Level 86. Title: Resonator. HP 900. MP 909. Strength 900. Endurance 900. Agility 900. Magic. 900. Luck. 900, plus 8 1. Equipment. Holy Spear Luminary, rank S. Valkyrie Mail, rank S. Valkyrie Helm, rank S. Ether Greaves, rank A. Skills. Divine Binding, hidden skill. Hidden from Analyze I, Sympathetic Resonance, unique skill, Spear Mastery, rank S. Blue Magic, rank S. White Magic, rank S. Alchemy, rank S. Passive effects. Summoning, Magic Supply, rank S. Hold on, there's way too much here to comment on. Well, it is an artificial body, after all. Feel free to voice your comments one by one. Oh, alright, then. I listed each of my questions in turn, and Melfina patiently answered them all. First, her unnaturally uniform stats were apparently set up to be reflective of my own. Specifically, the value for each was the average of all my stats after the buffs from any stats-raising skills were accounted for. That is the effect of my unique skill, Sympathetic Resonance. Not only are my stats attuned to yours, but so are my level and skill points. If you pick up a buff or a debuff, it will affect me equally as well. Consequently, me acquiring a stats-boosting skill, like Herculean Strength, for example, would be entirely meaningless. Similarly, I do not get the stats buffs from your summoning skill. Sounds like a skill with its fair share of merits and demerits. Why did you choose this one? All artificial bodies come with Divine Binding, a hidden skill that residents of this world have absolutely no way of detecting, in order to limit the powers of the deity dwelling within. Naturally, this body is no exception. Divine Binding supposedly worked to restrict the stats boosts and skill points earned by leveling up, ensuring the artificial body would only ever be as powerful as an average resident of the world. This was a measure taken to prevent gods and goddesses from overly affecting the worlds that they visited. There were several other more detailed restrictions imposed by the skill, but at least the stats part could be overcome with the help of Sympathetic Resonance. In other words, Melfina was exploiting a loophole. The stronger I got, the stronger she would become. The skill points that she earned would be equal to mine as well, which meant that she actually had quite a pool of them still sitting untouched. More importantly, we are now even closer to becoming one in both body and soul. Melfina continued. Oh great, honey. What a perfect monotone delivery. All that's left to discuss is her name, I guess. So, this artificial body goes by Mel, and not Melfina. I believe that takes care of the problem, right? Everyone, going forward, please call me Mel when addressing me out loud. I nodded. A simple but easy to remember nickname. Gotcha. Ifil bowed in acknowledgement. Understood, Mel-sama. I will also inform Ellie and Ruka when they get back. Thank you, Ifil, Melfina replied with a grateful look. Guess I've got to be careful when speaking to Melfina in public. Wait, hold on, about her age. Did you want to say something? Honey? I gulped. Nope, nothing at all. My danger detection skill was blaring an alarm in response to her full-faced smile. All right, age is taboo. Never touch on it, never bring it up, never mention it. I mean, she looks 17, so let's leave it at that, right? Yes, that's that. Well then, that's enough about me, don't you think? Next is the blessing that I promised to grant you a while back. Right, for when I successfully summoned you. I remember. That's right. Well done. Here you go, have a flower. Melfina used her index finger to draw a flower onto the back of my right hand. Ah, that tickles. But being praised does make me happy. There you are. Now you have my blessing. Wait, just like that? The ritual is to doodle on my hand? What I've just granted you is the blessing of the goddess of reincarnation. It's the same one possessed by the oracle of Deramus. What is its effect? There are two. The first is that once a month, you will receive absolute protection against something that would otherwise kill you. This activates automatically in the case of unforeseen accidents or sneak attacks that you fail to see coming. Damn, that first effect is already plenty OP on its own. Although there was a lengthy cooldown time between uses, the benefit of having some insurance against fatal attacks was obvious. To avoid letting our skills get rusty, Gerard, Sarah, and I had taken to having practice matches with each other as of late. While these were, again, practice matches, we still took them quite seriously. As the one with the lowest endurance, I was always somewhat in fear of losing my life. One did have to be alive to be a battle junkie, after all. Not that I was a battle junkie. Good for you, Kelvin. Now we can kick things up another notch during our practice matches. Of course that's your first thought, Sarah. But no matter, I'll take everything that gets thrown at me. You too, make sure to not go overboard, alright? Ephil chided Sarah and, for some reason, me. Don't forget that the underground training area is right beneath the building. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. With Ephil's admonishment putting an end to the exchange, it was time to move on. The second effect is the ability to summon a hero using your own magic.